Welcome to the channel, I'm Red Cloud, bringing you another Fantasy Life Online video, checking out whether we should be summoning for Laura, who is our new Paladin unit, who was released today. So I'm going to check out her details, see what she's all about, and give my thoughts of whether maybe I would or would not be summoning for her. And if you do enjoy the video, please do hit like, and if you aren't already, then please do consider subscribing to the channel for me. So here is Laura, our new Paladin unit, and the way they're playing her out is that she is a well-rounded unit, and it looks like she's going to be doing light damage, just like our boy Glenn. But can she compare? I mean, it's doubtful, but can she? We're going to check her out. So what can her passives do? Her Battle Fury, her Battle Charges. Let's check them all out. Let's have a little look. This first passive, Blessing of Castell Royal Family, significantly increases the shadow resistance of all team members. This is a pretty decent all-round support passive. Nothing too game-breaking, not making her hit harder or anybody hit harder, but making everyone a lot less squishy towards shadow damage dealing enemies. The second passive she gets, Castell Royal Swordsmanship, which the wording here is very short, which makes sense because it shortens charge time. So this means for your battle charge moves, when you hold the button in, waiting for that circle command your character so you can release and do your move, this one shortens it, much like Snow. So expect to see lots and lots of charge moves coming out of Laura. So what does her Battle Fury do? Dazzling Blade, launch a huge blade aura, and if you have luminous shards, its range and power will be increased. So a bit more on these luminous shards. There's a bit of detail up the top here. You can gather up to 3 luminous shards by performing certain attacks. These are no doubt going to be above her head, much like Haku, much like Snow. You're going to see a little symbol above Laura's head, and when you do collect 3 of these, your Battle Fury move will have more range and will deal more damage as well. So how do you get these luminous shards? So you get these luminous shards from doing Laura's combo. The 3rd, 4th and 6th phase of her combo attack are going to gather you luminous shards, and you can also collect them when you dodge counter. If you're unsure what the dodge counter is, it's where you dodge an enemy's attack and immediately after you've dodged it, you click attack, Laura's phrase will pop up and she will counter the enemy. That will gather you a luminous shard as well. So they look fairly easy to gather, and as well as it buffing her fury move, it also battles her charge skill too. So her first charge skill, the basic one, Shining Circle, a sword skill of light that cuts the surroundings apart. Sounds like a pretty basic move, but the secondary charge, where you hold it in for a bit longer, is where the luminous shards comes in. When you possess luminous shards, it adds an extra attack of a high critical rate. So from her first charge skill, doesn't sound too exciting, sounds quite minimal, but when you do the longer charge skill, expect to see a bit more damage coming out of that one. It sounds a bit more exciting to me. Thoughts on her currently? It says it in her description. She's very well-rounded, but for someone like me, and if you have Glenn yourself, I don't necessarily think she's needed, actually. If I pick her up in the future, I wouldn't be too disappointed, but she's not someone I'm actually going to specifically target or anything like that. She's not going to add too much to my team. Even the shadow resistance increase for all team members is pretty nice. I wouldn't say it's like absolute necessity. There's bound to be some content where enemies are dealing really high shadow damage and your members can't quite handle it, but in general day-to-day play, is it really necessary to have that? Not particularly. But anyway, let's check out the weapons, because there's going to be a sword and a shield as well. So the Apple Sword, which significantly increases light attack and increases critical rate. So let's check it out as well, because if you're summoning for Sarah, you are more than likely going to be summoning for the sword as well. So the charge slash move, Shiny Circle, performs a powerful charge while coated in light, and it has remarkable crit rate. Sounds pretty decent, that one. Again, very Glenn-esque with the critical rate being increased, but what effects does it add as well? The effects are actually quite important, I think, for Sarah, because currently she's lacking damage. Can the effects help her? Yes, they can. So the first one is it's going to significantly increase light damage. This is going to help her out quite a lot because from her own passives, there's no extra damage coming from them, so this will help quite nicely. And the effect 2 increases critical rate. So you already have critical rate increase from the charge slash, so that means just from holding the sword, you've already got an increased critical rate, which is decent just for doing general combos. And then also, when you do her charge slash move, that has a high critical rate itself, plus the extra critical rate you're going to get from the sword, you should be seeing quite a lot of critical hits. So this does actually complement Sarah quite well, I think. Again, not a groundbreaking weapon, it's not really giving me tingles of excitement, but it is quite a decent sword. And if we pair this with the shield, what can it bring us? So it's saying the apple shield increases the magic resistance of nearby allies. That's quite nice. And it also slightly increases attack speed. That's just the base description. Let's have a look what the actual details here are. So the special effects, what we got. So the charge slash apple protect, it increases the magical attack resistance of nearby allies and increases your attack speed slightly as well. So the attack speed sounds as if it's just going to be for Laura. That could be the translation, but I'm reading that as it's just Laura. This is going to be nice when you're trying to gain the luminous shards, because it means you can get your combo off quicker than you usually would. And what effects does it do? It increases your critical damage, which is perfect, and it also significantly reduces shadow damage received, which for Laura probably wasn't needed already because she's already got it in her own passive for allies and herself. This is to make her extra tanky, but the critical damage one, that is actually really good, I think, because as I've already described above, she's getting loads of critical rate up, but she may have been lacking a bit of damage. Now with the increases critical damage, that is no longer a problem. So all around, I think she is actually a pretty decent unit. If I had to guess where I'd be putting her on the tier list without actually seeing her in play, I'm expecting she's going to be S rank. She won't be top SS rank where Snow and Glenn currently are, but I think just from first glances and everything that she's bringing to the team, I expect her to be S rank. But leave me in the comments below, what do you think of Laura? Are you summoning for her? Have you already summoned? Because she's actually out now, so you might have already summoned. So let me know below what you think of her. And if you did enjoy the video, please do hit like. And if you aren't already, then please do consider subscribing to the channel for me. Thanks for watching. Bye.